All right, welcome. Today we're throwing two absolute icons from the 90s into the ring for a head-to-head reliability duel. In one corner, you've got the razor-sharp BMW Z3, and in the other, the super sophisticated Mercedes-Benz SLK. They're both seriously tempting classics, but the big question is, which one is going to be a friend to your wallet over the long haul?
And yeah, that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You see these cars for sale, and they look like the performance bargain of a lifetime. But are you actually buying into a sun-soaked dream, or are you signing up for a never-ending nightmare of repair bills? Well, we're about to find out. So let's bring in our contenders. First up, the BMW Z3, a pure back-to-basics sports car that came with a whole bunch of different engines. And its rival, the Mercedes SLK, the car that really brought the retractable hardtop to the masses. Now, on paper, they might look pretty evenly matched, but trust me, the devil is absolutely in the details. Okay, let's get right into it. To figure out which of these roadsters is the true champion of durability, we're going to put them both through a brutal 5-round reliability gauntlet. We're looking at everything from the engine all the way to the electronics to see which one really stands the test of time. Round 1, the engine. You know, the heart and soul of the car. And oh boy, the Z3 shows some pretty scary signs right out of the gate. We're talking about things like stretched timing chains, a fix that could set you back a cool 1,800 euros. Then you throw in all the usual leaky gaskets and finicky sensors, and you've got a recipe for a constantly empty wallet. Now, let's look at the SLK. Its engine, it's a completely different story. I mean, it's not perfect. You've still got to watch for potential overheating or turbo issues on certain models, but the core of this thing is just built better. It has way fewer common weak spots, and for that reason, round 1 goes decisively to Mercedes. On to round 2, the transmission. Now, the Z3's manual gearbox can be a little fragile, but the automatic, that's the real heartbreaker here. It is notorious for failing, and I mean spectacularly failing, leaving you with a repair bill that could easily be more than what you paid for the car. That is a massive, massive gamble. And this is where you see the huge difference in philosophy between these two brands. The SLK's transmission is, to put it simply, built like a tank. Both the manual and the automatic versions are famous for being incredibly robust, with way fewer common problems than the Z3. So yeah, this is another clear, easy win for Mercedes in round 2. Okay, now we get to what might be the Z3's biggest Achilles heel, its body. This car is an absolute magnet for rust, especially if you live anywhere with a damp climate. And if that wasn't enough to worry you, the fabric convertible top is basically a ticking time bomb of expensive mechanical and electrical repairs. This is where that affordable roadster dream can just crumble. The SLK, on the other hand, it left the factory with way, way better anti-corrosion protection. Rust is just so much less of a problem. And that complex, fancy retractable hardtop, turns out it's been shockingly reliable over the decades. So for its superior build and its ability to fight off the elements, the SLK takes the bodywork round, no question. All right, round 4, suspension. Look, the Z3 is an absolute blast to throw into a corner, but all that fun definitely takes its toll. The suspension components are well known for wearing out, which means you're constantly looking at replacing shocks, bushings, and fixing steering issues. It's kind of the price you pay for that go-kart-like handling. The Mercedes, again, feels like it was carved from a single piece of granite. The suspension parts are what we'd call over-engineered, which just means they were built to a ridiculously high standard, not to a price point. They just last longer. And because of that, the SLK is the clear winner of this round, too. And here we are, our final round, the interior and the electronics. And this is where the Z3 really starts to show its age. You've got cracked dashboards, dead pixels on the little computer screen, and a whole army of electrical gremlins that can just make living with the car a daily frustration. And the SLK? Well, its interior is just a masterclass in 90s German quality. The plastics and leathers are more durable, the electronics are solid as a rock, everything just feels like it was meant to last forever. And with that, it's a clean sweep. Mercedes has won all 5 rounds of our reliability gauntlet.
So after that absolute knockout victory in the gauntlet, what does all this actually mean for your bank account? Let's move on and take a look at the numbers that really truly matter, the overall cost of ownership.
And here it is, the bottom line. The numbers just don't lie. On average, we estimate this LK is a whopping 25 to 35% cheaper to maintain every single year.
You let that add up over a few years of ownership, and you're talking about a huge savings.
So, because of all this, we're giving the SLK a really solid 8.5 out of 10 for overall reliability. It's a genuine classic you can actually get out and enjoy without constantly worrying about what's going to break next. The Z3, it gets a 7, which, isn't awful, but it's a score that definitely comes with a long list of what ifs.
But hang on. Before you run out and put a deposit down on an SLK, let's not forget that cars are about so much more than just reliability scores. The Z3 may have lost the battle of the spreadsheets, but it might just win the war for your heart. Because here's the thing. The Z3 is, without a doubt, the better car to drive. It's more agile, it's more engaging, the engine sounds better, and it just looks so good. It's the kind of car that begs you to take the long, winding way home. And for some people, that's everything. So that brings us to the final decision. This really isn't about which car is better in some objective sense. It's about which car is the right choice for you. So let's break down who should buy which car. The Z3 is for the purist. It's for the driver who wants that raw, unfiltered, seat-of-your-pants connection to the road. If you're willing to trade a little peace of mind and budget for some extra maintenance in exchange for an absolutely unforgettable driving experience, the Z3 is your car. The SLK, on the other hand, is for the smart money. It's for the driver who wants to enjoy that top-down, wind-in-your-hair motoring, but without the constant nagging fear of a four-figure repair bill. It's the stylish, sophisticated, and, dare I say, sensible choice. And so our final verdict is this. For the vast majority of people, the Mercedes SLK is simply the smarter buy. It's more reliable, it's cheaper to own, and it's still a huge amount of fun in its own sophisticated way. It's the choice you make with your head, and in this case, your head is probably right. Which brings us to the ultimate question you have to ask yourself. What's it going to be? The sensible, logical choice that promises comfort and peace of mind, or the passionate, thrilling choice that might just break your heart and your bank account? The decision, as they say, is yours.